Namaste, angels. This is the weekly love reading for the period of today, December 16th through December 22nd. I recorded a love reading for you guys yesterday, or for us yesterday, and uploaded it. And before publishing it, I went to listen to it, and it had the audio problem also, but I didn't have I must have accidentally deleted the files. Like in the previous cases where this had happened, which has been 2 or 3 times, I think 3 times already, since YouTube changed their policies and their website in the area where one uploads the videos and the different settings that you have to click on and select. They probably did something. It's in beta. Anyway, it's not even like their real formal page yet to use for this. It's a beta page, so there's probably some sort of what do they call that? There's some sort of problem with it, mistake in it somewhere that's causing me a problem with the audio. Probably, I don't know, but this wasn't happening until they did this. They changed their website, they changed their policies, and then I started to have problems intermittently with different videos. So it's happened already since the 10th when they started it, 2 or 3 times. I think it's 3 times already. And this video, I happened to press play before publishing, and it had no sound. And then unfortunately, I did not have the MP4s. I don't know what I did with them in this case. So I apologize. But then I almost right away felt like that reading had been for me. So maybe that is the case. Like personally, maybe the universe knew I wouldn't do one for myself otherwise, so it made me do it that way. I'm not sure. Um, but that was the sense I got almost right away. In any case, I'm having to do hours for the collective over. So here we go. We're beginning with the dice with Eat Cake. So we do have the last deacon of Sagittarius celebrating their birthday this week, as well as the first deacon Capricorn. So happy birthday to anybody out there who's celebrating. Of course, there are many, many other reasons people may be celebrating. A lot of engagements, weddings, holiday parties, all kinds of things going on, and reasons for cake right now. We're also beginning with no and stay in bed. Spirit says cocktail. Still stay in bed. And still no. Yes or no questions, perhaps pertaining to love. Answer is no, if you were trying to figure it out. The cards are actually different from the first time that I recorded, but the overall message, at least the one that I gave prior to pulling any further cards, is the same. And that is, well, I can get into the reading. I can go ahead and start, because using the Four of Pentacles, which is our overall energy, to help to explain it. So those of us who've been holding on very, very tightly to relationships and situations, people in particular, or ideas of people, fantasies of different situations of people, beginning to let those go right now. A lot of people letting those go, and in some cases moving on. People who have been holding on to us, keeping our energy hostage, and squeezing too hard, pushing too hard on us, maybe trying to force us into situations, also starting to fall back. And then those of us who've been holding on too tightly to ourselves and not opening up to relationships or to people, and avoiding, in a lot of cases, who we know and what we know is meant for us, but we've been like sort of fighting it because it requires, well, it doesn't require anything but love, honestly, but we've been using every possible excuse, because there are excuses. We've been using them to avoid the relationship. So like, it's going to be too hard, or it wouldn't work because one of us is older, one of us is younger. It's going to be too hard, or it wouldn't work because one of us is black and the other one is white. It's going to be too hard, or it wouldn't work because One of us is vegetarian and the other one eats, meat or whatever it is. We've been making all kinds of excuses, reasons why we can't somehow compromise and come together. And we're having a little bit of trouble keeping on to that grip on ourselves too. So all of these grips being loosened. And in a general sense, what it means when the Four of Pentacles shows up in relation to love is that either you're holding far too tightly to a situation or a person, or someone is attempting to do that to you, or they are actually doing that to you, holding on way too tight. And of course, clinging, holding on too tight, stifling people is not healthy. Is not the way for a relationship to thrive. Love needs to be able to pass both ways in order to be healthy. And real, genuine love allows for space in between, the parties, the lovers, and not only space, freedom. And that's something that came up this week in the general reading because Venus enters Aquarius this week. So the planet and goddess of love enters the sign of freedom and humanitarianism, right? So there's a struggle there. There's a struggle there. You can learn more about what the struggle is in the general reading if you don't mind listening to that. But that may be why some of these energies are popping up for us and why these cards are popping up for us. If we're single also, sometimes, and we feel like we're ready for a relationship, sometimes it's also important that, or it tends to be important that when this card shows up, we step out of our comfort zone. So like I was saying, we hold on to ourselves too tightly too. And all of that is changing this week. So overall focus in love for the fire signs, the earth signs, the air signs, and the water signs. And everybody's pretty much in their own element with the exception of the fire signs. And except when we're talking about Scorpio. You might say Scorpio's not a fire sign, that's why. Yeah, but Scorpio's in part ruled by Mars, the red planet. Fiery Mars, the masculine ruler of love, aggression, action, passion. And this card in particular in the tarot, the Queen of Cups, represents the sign of Scorpio. The Queen always represents the fixed sign of a given element, like in traditional practice of tarot. So this would in fact be Scorpio. And it's here crossing the King of Cups. So I think it's very much representative of some Scorpios. They're going to be benefiting of, from this energy here that is in the placement of fire, just as much as the fire signs. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries will also benefit from this. Fire signs, the Queen of Cups in relation to love says that, whether she's upside down or right side up, and in this case she is upside down, she's in reverse, it's still a very, very positive omen as it relates to love. And it says that you need to stay focused on your loving side, your loving qualities, your loving energies, and maybe even your feminine ones. Okay, maybe you need to put those forward. Aries, the ram, right? You can be very prideful, stubborn, and controlling. I'm talking about your negative traits. There's a lot of really wonderful things about Aries. In fact, Geminis get along very well with Aries. So, what does that say about me? I'm kidding, but yeah, I'm talking about your negative traits here, or potentially negative traits. Maybe even a little selfish, egomaniacal sometimes. And that's not going to benefit you in love, at least not this week. Maybe some weeks it pays, even in love, for you to be in control in that way. This week is about letting go again, right? Four of Pentacles. Our overall theme here is letting go. So not being in control. And you're just going to want to focus again on the most loving aspects of yourself and let them shine through. The Queen of Cups in reverse is about true, deep love. It could be representative of Scorpio energy, perhaps, right? Scorpio is all about depth and getting into the deepest, darkest parts of ourselves. Or maybe it's about Cancer, like the most loving sign in the zodiac, in terms of emotion, right? In terms of emotion, there's all different love languages and different ways to express love. But in terms of emotion, I would probably give it to Cancer. Um, at least the females. I told you the males irritate me. I'm just being honest. Cancer males and me. Oh goodness, it's a bad mix. It's been a bad mix in my experience. Um, but Pisces. Maybe, you know what? Maybe it is Pisces for the win. Now that I think about it, and it's the most logical choice because Pisces is ruled by Neptune, which governs higher love. So Venus is the planet of love. And like I said, Mars is even the planet of masculine love. But Neptune is the planet of higher love, unconditional love, like true, deep, long lasting love. You know what the Queen of Cups in reverse makes me think about? Um, that verse in the Bible. It's 1 Corinthians 13:4, which is like 13:13 or 2:11:11s, or maybe 8 for karma. You know, I'm a number weirdo. And it actually goes through 13. So it's like 13:4 through 13:13. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor. It is not self seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil. It rejoices in truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. I don't remember the rest. I lost it. I lost it. There's more. Something about the prophecies. Oh goodness. I was on a roll, but I lost it. But you get the idea. That's what the Queen of Cups in reverse says to me or is saying to me right now. And I think, especially because of all these cards that are here, the only court cards that are here are the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Swords, and the King of Cups. Taking that into consideration, as well as the placement that the Queen of Cups crosses the water sign placement and sits above the air sign placement. And because court cards can be actual people in your life, I think it really does mean a lot for those who are specifically maybe not only fire sign again, but Scorpio or air signs or water signs this week. And again, of the water signs, most specifically Scorpio, but Pisces and Cancer too. I think you could really be seeing actual people in your life behaving this way, including yourself this week. Not just an energy surrounding you or, things happening in the universe. Actual people. Um, yeah, I lost what I was going to say again. All right, so let's go on to the Seven of Pentacles. I got really caught up in that one, that Queen of Cups. So I expect that some of you will be caught up in those feelings too of love and emotion and romance. The Seven of Pentacles is also a very positive card. It looks kind of boring in terms of love. Like I don't look at this card. I don't know about you guys. But I don't look at this card and think love. Um, except for maybe this guy's like love of his garden or something like that. But it's a really really positive omen. If you're not, if you're single, right, and interested, again, you need to keep your possibilities open. You need to be willing to get out there. You got to loosen up the grip on yourself and make yourself available, physically available, emotionally available to other people. If you've had yourself focus on a particular person, however, earth signs, and things just haven't come together the way you'd imagine, or just even if in some respects they are. What the Seven of Pentacles means is that if we're not with somebody, but we're focused on somebody, that somebody likely, their life is likely going pretty well, and perhaps even their love life is going well. They may even be involved with somebody else, and there's no room for you. It's very possible with the Seven of Pentacles. Of course, there are other possibilities when somebody's life is going well. They could be happily single and perhaps have some room to bring you in. But you may want to not only loosen up the grip on yourself, but loosen up the grip on that ideal and fantasy, and maybe keep your options open to other people as well, or other situations, maybe a different type of relationship with that person, because there are more than there's more than one person. There's not only one person in the world with whom we could have a deep meaningful connection. There's more than one. When relationships don't work out with people, we people tend to find somebody else. I mean, there's enough to go around where you can find somebody else, even when there had been a really deep admiration or connection with one person. That takes us to the air signs, and we too again are represented by our own energy. It is the Queen of Swords in reverse. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And Queen of Swords in reverse, as it relates to love. You know how I just lost my train of thought, my memory? I didn't remember that verse, that Bible verse, completely the way it was. I remembered it up to a point the way it was, and then I didn't remember the rest at all. That can be the case in our relationships. Our memory of what happened or what was said in any given situation or relationship may not really be the reality of things. And it's going to be super important for you to be open to communicating with your partner or love interest about what their point of view is. And of course, this would be particularly meaningful with somebody with whom you've already had some sort of relationship, whether it was a friendship or a stronger relationship, because Venus in Aquarius also is bringing about relationships that grow from friendships into romantic ones. The sign of Aquarius also rules like groups and friendships. So Venus entering there means that some people that we had previously thought of as, oh, they're just a friend, could definitely turn into something more. Or somebody that had been a friend in the past, definitely potential to turn into something more. We could meet someone new when we're out with friends or in group settings, so at events and things like that. Very, very good time for any and all of us to meet somebody if we're looking to do that. Also, the general reading was very clear that some people will be coming back from our past right now. And we need to decide if we were interested in that, or if we wanted that or not. And definitely that second chances in all aspects of our life, so inclusive of love, are possible right now. They're more than, they're likely right now based on the general reading. If you've seen what goes on there, they're very likely right now, second time around. So a relationship perhaps didn't work in the past, but there's an opportunity for it to work now. But you're gonna have to talk, because somebody could be holding on. It could be you, could be the other person, right? Holding on rather tightly to some of those memories from the past, maybe even to some negative emotions from that time, some hurt, pain, regret, resentment, guilt, blame, and all of that needs to be addressed and let go in order for something to move forward. This card shows up a lot, actually, the Queen of Swords in reverse. Um, and it is an energy with which I'm personally familiar. The occasion for somebody to be recounting a story and for me to be like, dude, I was there. Don't try to change the story. Like I remember it a particular way. But in this case, we could be wrong about our. So just, and whether we're wrong or we're right, it's important when this card shows up that we are open to listening to what other people have to say and other perspectives. So that takes us into water. And there definitely could be something um, going on with the Queen of Swords and the King of Cups. He is facing her. She has her back to him. The Queen of Cups would be facing him, but with her head down. Very possible that there was some scenarios, maybe like a breakup between a King of Cups and a Queen of Swords, or cheating or something, maybe with another water sign or with a fire sign. And that's from what people are pulling away now. Her head is down, and he's looking at the Queen of Swords again, like, can I get her back? Let me show you with them upright. You see? So that could be a very real situation between an air sign, and maybe specifically an air sign female and a water sign male. Another strong possibility, my fellow air signs, before I go on to the water, is that we don't remember the situation the way it really happened. And so we might be feeling like this person did something to us, they wronged us, as if we're, our hands are completely clean and we've done nothing, and we didn't cause any hurt. Or as if they had no reason maybe to decline to be involved with us, or to walk away from us, to break up, whatever. I mean, there's a couple possible things that could have gone down. But like I said, people had reasons, and I don't want to say that no reasons, had any, that they completely lacked justification, in all ways. It's not true. Like, even when you think about, for example, the black and white, um, in terms of love, when you just think about love, does it make sense? No. Is it a valid reason? No. But in terms of life in this world, is it a valid reason? Do people's lives and whether they remain alive or not sometimes depend upon it? On staying away from people from different races, particularly for the for black people, and more specifically for black males. Is it not true in this world? Absolutely it is. So I don't want to make it seem like the reasons are completely excuses without reason, because that's not the case. And maybe because there was real reason, somebody couldn't be involved with you for whatever happened, and you took it as an affront to you. Maybe something personal that was to you, or that was done to you. This person left me, this person wronged me, this person whatever, and there's more to it. And so that's why you got to hear what they have to say also. And I'll use that to segue into, for some it could be about money also. Like money was a factor. Money, resources were a factor as to why they couldn't have a relationship. If I keep trying to move on and more things keep popping up. Water signs. All right, so just like the Queen of Cups, rather, albeit in reverse, was a positive omen, so is the King of Cups in reverse as it relates to love. The King of Cups in general in reverse, or anything in reverse, most of these court cards in reverse in a general sense um, can be not necessarily good. It can be about being imbalanced and things. Um, but and and even in like in work, for example, the King of Cups in reverse can be about a man that like has an outburst at the job, like an emotional outburst. So obviously that would not be good, or at least in my mind, that wouldn't be good. But in love, the fact that he's reversed is absolutely fine. I promise you. If you're single and looking for love, this can mean that somebody who's going to be extremely romantic. I mean, like really a charmer, the kind that sweeps you off your feet and just or picks you up and is strong enough to protect you and all of that. Like what I said about the Queen. Love is kind, love is protective. Pick you up and run into the sunset. Um, sort of love, sort of person. That they are nearby, they're coming, they're ready to let go of whatever was holding them back and of any and everything they need to in order to pursue this love and happiness. So you are both very lucky people if you get to meet each other. If you are already in a committed relationship, then it can definitely mean deepening of that romantic love and commitment, again, because we're letting go of some sort of inhibition or something that was preventing us from going deeper prior. I'm going to see what the masculine perspective is now. I mean, I do every week. I do a spread from the masculine point of view, but I think this week, even more so than usual, I want to, because in addition to things like Venus in Aquarius, a lot of this is about ascension and awakening and reawakening, in my opinion, of some masculine that had been awake but went back to sleep, and now they're becoming reawakened and seeing and like, now I'm really starting to understand why she was always talking about spirituality and synchronicities and signs and different things. Like he's experiencing it firsthand for himself on a more real and consistent basis. So I just want to see how that may affect what cards come out from his perspective. It was really beautiful yesterday, but again, I think that was mine. So divine feminine, the masculine as it relates to the feminine. To himself in the union or connection as a whole. Overall, what energy the masculine would have the feminine give the union or connection this week? What he himself is willing to, what the universe would have each and or both to do and even wants to help us with, but we have to first affirm because we have free will. The universe doesn't just do stuff, without giving us a chance to choose what we want. So we choose there and the outcome. Divine feminine, worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. I think this is something about her, in addition to the partnership and partner of her choosing or destiny. I think in a way, it's like I'm just getting a feeling of her being particularly prized, in this moment. So like she is worth waiting for too, specifically. The masculine as it relates to the feminine, separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. I feel that this has happened already. And like I was just saying, a lot of the messages that I got before, could definitely be something talking about a past connection that already existed between some people. Um, and for others, there are situations from which we're going to be separating. Remember, all of this loosening of the grip. So I think that's why separation is coming up there. For people, who are meant to move forward, I don't think that this separation uh, is about them. Um, Let me move this a little bit. I'm moving the cards, but I think it's the camera that's in the wrong position. Yeah, there we go. Um, the masculine as it relates to himself this week with love. It's children. Your love life is being affected by children. This can be very literal, and of course, be his children, your children. I talked about something like a week or two ago about even where like there were these connections in some cases, like one person had children and the other one didn't, and so that was the reason that you couldn't come together before too. And that may be how children are affecting the situation still. One has children, the other doesn't. You both have children. Maybe that's where the finances come in. Like I said, money was involved in some of these situations. It's something that came up in the last spread. But children can also be a metaphor to me too. This card can be very Empress-like, um, and about newness and innocence and wanting to have lighthearted, childlike energy in reapproaching the situation or in starting, to look for love in general, whether single or um, committed and you're looking to deepen something, or um, in separation, looking to reunite. I think it's about fresh energy also. Some also could have had children, whether male or female. I'm talking about the masculine archetype. Could have had children while in separation that you don't know about. And that may be part of the problem. You need to get to know each other because there's a lot you missed. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. I was watching, what was the name of it? 90 Day Fiance, I think it's called. In between like processing videos last night, just looking for something to do, maybe like 11:30 at night. I was watching this 90 Day Fiance thing, and this one woman is with this guy. The woman has children. The children look mixed. She doesn't really, or the children look Hispanic. Let me put it that way. But she didn't, so maybe I don't know what the deal was with the children. In any case, she had like three sons, and looked to be a white woman, the lady herself, although the kids look to be Hispanic. And she was with this guy. I think he was from Turkey, and he looked very um, European, I guess, in that sense. Like thick hair and all that. Anyway, that doesn't matter. But that's a difference. That's one difference that they had between them. And I believe he was Muslim also, which is very common in Turkey. So that's another difference. They were getting into like an argument or whatever because apparently he came over here to marry her. I guess that's what the show is about, 90 Day Fiance. But he and his family knows that he's over here to marry her, but they don't know that she has children. And she was saying like, if he didn't finally tell his parents and family that she had children, she was not going to go through with the marriage. And he was like, well, if I tell my family, that you have children, like they're not going to like it. It was like they were going to like practically disown him. Like it wasn't something he was willing to do. At least while I was watching. I think must have turned it off or something because I don't know what happened after that. Maybe he told them and it was fine. But I just thought about that because that could be a certain situation too. Like maybe somebody's family, the masculine's family, or it could be the feminine's family too, would not be happy, or friends or something, society would not be happy for them to be getting involved with somebody that had children. And so that posed a problem. Um, yeah. masculine on the union or connection as a whole, attraction, right? So that's real. There is something there. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. So also being ready to put the law of attraction to work and to manifest the kind of love and relationship that he wants. And maybe with whom specifically he wants. Overall, heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Well, yeah. So people definitely have to talk. Like I said, I was feeling that over here, that there's some things that happen during separation for some people that the other does not know and needs to know, in order to go forward. What the masculine, what kind of energy the masculine would have the feminine give the union or connection this week in terms of love and his romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So he's acknowledging her feelings. And look how the two cards that are about the feminine, both of them about worth too. Remember I was saying I was feeling something additional about worth and that it related to her very specifically? This could be what it was too. Your feelings are real and worth exploration. You have value, you have warrant. But divine timing is also at play. So we have to be cognizant of that and respectful of that even. What energy the masculine himself is willing to give to the union or connection this week? It is let go of control issues and allow the situation to unfold naturally. This could be maybe particularly true of the fire signs based on the last spread. Fire signs and or Scorpios. But I think it's also masculine at large. But maybe for them, it's been a real issue. Allow this situation to unfold naturally. They've been trying to manipulate it, control it, which again is very fire sign like. And I had gotten to talking specifically about Aries. It is very Aries like because it's very Mars like. You know what I mean? So it's not their fault. It's nothing against it. It's the Mars. So it's very Scorpio like too. Try to control something because they too are in part ruled by Mars. Anyway, what the universe would have each or both of us to give to the union this week and even wants to help us with, but we have to first affirm, is flirt. Extend your light-hearted energy to others. So it's crossing this children card, and that's what I was trying to get across about the children card as a possibility, that it can be about light-hearted, like innocent, almost childlike energy also. That's how you attract. It's sitting here atop the attraction card too. That's how you attract other people. People are put off by heavy energy, right? It's just a turn off for somebody to approach you with a bunch of baggage. And blame and guilt and stuff, negative emotion. Nobody wants that. Not that we can't ever talk about it, but that's not the way to certainly go about meeting somebody or re-initiating a relationship, reapproaching, trying to make up, come out of separation. That's not the way to do it. Outcome. It is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. So you can let go of that tight grip on the wrong person, on the wrong relationship, on yourself, keeping yourself from the world. However it applies, you can let go of that tight grip. It's safe for you to actually experience healthy love that passes both ways. In a way, I want to end it there, and because I don't want to have to, process the video. I want to get it up to you as soon as possible, since this is the second time around. But on another hand, I want to see the universe's perspective. I think I'm going to take a risk and go ahead and do that. Although I probably should not. Divine being or couple. Recent past. Near future. Masculine's higher self. Blocks to individual or shared progress. What the feminine can do, however, to help herself. And what the masculine can. what the universe would have each or both do and even wants to help us with, but we have to first affirm because we have free will. And the outcome. Divine being or couple, friendship. So I talked about what it means for Venus to be entering Aquarius this week, and that friendships could definitely deepen into stronger, greater relationships, or relationships could be built on healthy foundations of friendship, or we could return to friendship. Friendship could be restored in a relationship where, it had been lost or taken a hit, right? You see this like wedding band, like rings, not on the right finger, but it's on this finger of the friend. So it's always, this card has always said to me something about a friendship that can grow into something more. Recent past, mature woman. This card means a lot of different things to me. It could be spiritual growth, could be a birthday, could be a recent encounter in the recent past, especially when I'm doing a collective reading. When I'm doing one for a private one, may be different, but many possibilities of mature woman in this position for a collective reading. Near future, family, and a party of three. This could be something as simple as in the near future, spending time with close friends and or actual blood relations because of the holidays and things. And that may give you an opportunity to again reunite with somebody, because being around or to meet somebody for the first time if you're single, because being around groups and friends during this transit of Venus and Aquarius is very potentially abundant for us as it relates to love. It's promising. Masculine's higher self, money, abundance also. It can be taken very literally that his mind is on his money and his money's on his mind. It's also a very Ace of Pentacles kind of card for me, so it's like new beginnings, and it's a card of abundance too, just in general. So like in this position in particular would be like representative of manifesting abundance to me. Also, there could be a particular meaning for earth signs or connection to earth signs or earth energy. Blocks to individual or shared progress. Children. I keep forgetting to fix this card too. I should have known it was this one, right? I keep forgetting to fix the card. I keep forgetting like which one it is. I'm not even thinking about it. Children, which again is like a very Empress like kind of card to me too, and can be about why is it a block? Because there's been like a lack of fresh energy and new stuff. We've been hesitant to make a new start or to attempt at a new start. We've been withholding ourselves, or holding on too tightly to the past. Or it can be actual children for some, and maybe because of money, like how am I going to take care of two families sort of thing, so I can't get involved with you. What the feminine can do to help herself, though. Very interesting. This card represents the karmic masculine energy in this deck for me. It's very devil-like, as in the tarot. Could be specifically representative of a Capricorn, and maybe not necessarily having anything to do with devil energy or karmic masculine energy. Capricorn, or maybe an other earth sign. Taurus, Virgo, or like the feminine may have to resolve an issue like with the father of her children, for example. A karmic masculine energy, something having to do with children, or with her own father, or some other masculine energy in her life, maybe, that is an obstruction, an obstacle that she needs to get around. Or it could be a time for her to look to her masculine energies rather than leaning so heavily on feminine and being imbalanced with these two potentially Empress-like cards. Or this can also be something about the sun entering Capricorn during this period in transit too, on the 21st. And perhaps the other celestial bodies entering Capricorn and how they may affect her or help her. Many looking forward to the Jupiter one. What the masculine can do to help himself. Ooh, dating. Underneath the full moon. You know, I started to say the Capricorn moon also specifically, but I was like, Capricorn, other bodies, other celestial bodies that will be in Capricorn soon. Yeah, I was thinking about the moon. I was thinking about the Gemini full moon that just passed as well. So that definitely, the Gemini full moon definitely may have given you a boost, because it's definitely been part of a major shift. Super positive and powerful energy of creation and co-creation that came with those 12s or 3s of the Gemini full moon, 12/12 at 12/12. That may be what these 3s are about too. But this card can more simply, of course, just be looked at as like a 2 of cups kind of card. There's literally 2 cups here. See them for the red and the passion and the love that they contain. And how if we put them together, we can fill each other's cups. So it is about like resolving the relationships that you've had. We're trying to start new healthy ones that go both ways, right? Love has to be able to pass both ways to be healthy. And there has to be able to be space and freedom between the two parties for it to be healthy. What the universe would have each or both of us do to help ourselves, but we have to first affirm, because we have free will, is communication. Maybe you haven't spoken in a while. There have been separation. Maybe you're not getting out and meeting people. This could be something guiding you to do some online dating. That would be very Aquarian, right? Venus in Aquarius. Or to communicate via some sort of technology, texting, WhatsApp, FaceTime, all that kind of stuff. Universe wants to help you with the communication. And maybe to speak more effectively too, to say what you mean what you say. Page of Swords in reverse came up in the general reading, and that can be about the need to do just that. Outcome. Beauty Queen. This is confidence. This is Venus, basically, in a very passionate and fiery way. She's all clad in red, but Venus is the planet of beauty, confidence, abundance, love. She definitely guides us to go for what we want and to feel good about ourselves, to feel very Empress-like and recognize how attractive we are and how in control of the power of attraction to ourselves in terms of manifestation we are as well. So on that note, I'll get to some advice, further advice for the masculine and the feminine. Masculine communication was in this very spot for me. And this Beauty Queen card was as well. Now that, I didn't have these other cards, but I had these two. In the exact placements they're in now. No, that's enough. So from the angel therapy cards to the masculine sacral chakra, you're highly sensitive to chemicals, additives, processed foods, and energies right now. Why? Because of ascension, because of reawakening, or because of awakening. Respect your sensitivities by avoiding harsh items, situations, and relationships. More and more is going to become toxic to you because it just doesn't align with your vibration. Feminine. Yep, this is about communication too. Cancer, clear, delete. Communication with the universe. Use only positive words and thoughts as they're rapidly manifesting into form. Ask the angels to cancel the effects of past negative thinking. From the romance angels to the masculine. You deserve love. You are lovable. And this is very Sagittarian energy, Cupid-like energy. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Like I said, a lot of people are looking very much forward to Jupiter in Capricorn because Jupiter brings us gifts. Jupiter is the planet of growth, expansion, luck, karma, and Capricorn is the sign of shared resources, shared income, shared assets, shared, like sickness and health, really. Sometimes shared bills and stuff too. But it's what relationships are built on, right? Feminine, unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. So in some cases, again, some vision or person onto which we've been holding, we got to let that go. We got to let that go. It's not for us. Sometimes this card isn't literal for me though. I'm sure you've seen that in terms of all the cards. None of them ever are really all the time literal for me. They all have some other meaning, the way that I read them. Unrequited love for me is also about imbalance. And so like I was saying about your one's inner masculine and or feminine energies relying too heavily on one or the other, that could be what's going on with the feminine too in some cases, and having nothing to do with your partner being this, or your intended, the person in whom you're interested being disinterested in you. But also this can be about unequal, like imbalance in terms of the relationship, and maybe something you need to talk about, right? Communicate about. Unrequited means like not reciprocal. So maybe you're giving, and the other one's only giving this much, So they're giving something. You can't say they're not doing anything, but it's not equal to you, and maybe you require it to be so that they can be balanced and the scales can do this. And that may be something again for a conversation. From the hashtag creepy deck, or what I call the hashtag creepy deck, past love, masculine. And again, for I do think that this is literal for a good few. Again, somebody returning from the past, or you returning to a love from your past to try to fix it, or at least resolve or save the friendship. And for the feminine, work. This is a very Eight of Pentacles kind of card for me. Like you reap what you sow. Where you put your effort is from where you get the reward. It's also very much connected to earth signs for me. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Especially Capricorn, the workhorse of the zodiac. I tend to feel the energy of Capricorn when I pick this card up. And this woman even has green eyes. The person may have green eyes. Somebody's person actually has green eyes too. They may be actually, like I said, an earth sign, and maybe most specifically a Capricorn. So we got like this Capricorn energy on both sides from the same deck. And that's it. And for your vibration, you may want to, this was our overall energy, you may want to, focus on not necessarily vegetarian or vegan foods, at least not in my opinion, but clean foods, organic foods, if possible, locally farmed foods, fresh organic fruits and vegetables, meat too, if that's what you're into, or, as clean of a meat as possible, grass-fed, not grain-fed, no antibiotics, all that kind of stuff. Organic food in general gives you a boost of high energy, high life force energy, which elevates your spiritual frequency. And I say this to you as somebody who has been a meat eater, a vegetarian, and a vegan. That it's not necessary for you to be this, but it is, in my opinion, necessary that you eat as clean and organic as possible. Also, underneath this upright is throat chakra. So this too is about saying what we mean and meaning what we say. And the universe, or angels, your descendant masters, your ancestors, your guides, whatever, helping you to speak up, helping you to communicate like it's saying it wants to do here. The angels are helping you to lovingly speak your truth. So people finally able to rectify situations because they're being honest this week. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the love reading. I will be back. I got tons more stuff to do and to come to you guys with. Client readings, still special videos I'm wanting to do. Oh, all of that. I'm not tired yet. I'm not out of it yet. I'll get to it. I'll be back. Namaste.